Welcome to Raw Entertainment Dogs channel.
Mark Twain's wise words on animals at Raw Entertainment Dogs. It takes me a long time to lose my temper, but once lost I could not find it with a dog. There are no wild animals until man makes them so. I felt so lonesome I most wished I was dead. The stars were shining, and the leaves rustled in the woods ever so mournful, and I heard an owl, away off, hoo-hooing about somebody that was dead, and a whippoorwill and a dog crying about somebody that was going to die. I love to revel in philosophical matters, especially astronomy. I study astronomy more than any other foolishness there is. I am a perfect slave to it. I am at it all the time. I have got more smoked glass than clothes. I am as familiar with the stars as the comets are. I know all the facts and figures and have all the knowledge there is concerning them. I yelp astronomy like a sundog, and pour the constellations like Ursa Major. My father was a Saint Bernard, my mother was a collie, but I am a Presbyterian. Wherefore, I beseech you, let the dog and the onions and these people of the strange and godless names work out their several salvations from their piteous and wonderful difficulties without help of mine, for indeed their trouble is sufficient as it is, whereas an I tried to help I should but damage their cause the more, and yet mayhap not live myself to see the desolation wrought. When a man's dog turns against him, it is time for his wife to pack her trunk and go home to mama. But that's always the way. It don't make no difference whether you do right or wrong. A person's conscience ain't got no sense, and just goes for him anyway. If I had a yaller dog that didn't know no more than a person's conscience does, I would poison him. It takes up more room than all the rest of a person's insides, and yet ain't no good, nohow. Presbyterianism without infant damnation would be like the dog on the train that couldn't be identified because it had lost its tag. Let your secret sympathies and your compassion be always with the underdog in the fight. This is magnanimity, but bet on the other one, this is business. The fear of lightning is one of the most distressing infirmities a human being can be afflicted with. It is mostly confined to women, but now and then you find it in a little dog, and sometimes a man. The old saw says, let a sleeping dog lie. Right. Still, when there is much at stake, it is better to get a newspaper to do it. The old saw says, let a sleeping dog lie. Experience knows better. Experience says, if you want to convince, do it yourself. It's a good thing for a dog to have fleas, keeps his mind off being a dog. Man is a religious animal. He is the only religious animal. He is the only animal that has the true religion, several of them. He is the only animal that loves his neighbor as himself and cuts his throat if his theology isn't straight. He has made a graveyard of the globe in trying his honest best to smooth his brother's path to happiness and heaven. The higher animals have no religion. And we are told that they are going to be left out in the hereafter. I wonder why. It seems questionable taste. We should be careful to get out of an experience only the wisdom that is in it, and stop there lest we be like the cat that sits down on a hot stove lid. She will never sit down on a hot stove lid again, and that is well, but also she will never sit down on a cold one anymore. One of the most striking differences between a cat and a lie is that a cat has only 9 lives. Man is the only slave. And he is the only animal who enslaves. He has always been a slave in one form or another, and has always held other slaves in bondage under him in one way or another. In our day, he is always some man's slave for wages, and does that man's work, and this slave has other slaves under him for minor wages, and they do his work. The higher animals are the only ones who exclusively do their own work and provide their own living.
Like, share, and subscribe to this video.
Welcome to Raw Entertainment Dogs channel.